John chapter 12. Now, among those who went up to worship at the feast were some Greeks. So these came to Philip, who was from Bethsaida in Galilee, and asked him, "Sir, we wish to see Jesus." Philip went on and told Andrew, and Andrew and Philip went and told Jesus. And Jesus answered them, "The hour has come for the Son of Man to be glorified. Truly, I say to you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains alone, but if it dies, it bears much fruit. Whoever loves his life loses it. Whoever hates his life in this world will keep it for eternal life. If anyone serves me, he must follow me, and where I am, my servant will be also. If anyone serves me, the Father will honor him." So, we're in Holy Week. Jesus is in the city already. And then we have this, we kind of have this, what could almost seem like a little throwaway line, but it gives us the indication already of the universal nature of the salvation of Jesus. Because we have these Greeks. Now, they're Greek Jews. These are people of the diaspora that have been scattered around, but they're coming home from for Passover, and yet so you have these Greeks that want to see Jesus. We wish to see Jesus, and it's fascinating. The question is, what do they want to see? And that we could have all kinds of fun dealing with what do they want to see, but the reality is this: what they think they want to see and what they will see at the end of the festival are two different things. Now is the Son of Man glorified, and if you look very carefully in this, you can see the circular fashion of John's Gospel on display, because much earlier in the Nicodemus event, we see Jesus connected to the bronze serpent. He is about to be raised up. Jesus' glorification is not going to be a glory of a throne, but a glory of a cross. And that glory is not about power, but it's weakness. It's not about life. It's about death. Jesus has come to be glorified, and for him to be glorified means that he will be raised up on the cross. But because of that, there's going to be a great harvest. It's not just going to be Greek Jews, but it's going to be French Africans in Milwaukee, and Hispanics in Sheboygan, and Anglos wherever you happen to live. And that's the great joy of what's happening this week. There's going to be this great reversal, but it's not that the world is going to be turned upside down. It is the glorification of Jesus at the cross that will turn the world right side up. And in this right side upness, now we see that what we have been pursuing, what we wish to see, actually leads to death. As we cling to those treasures of the world in a world that is passing away, it runs the risk of costing us our eternal life. But when the Spirit is at work, leading us to fix our eyes on Jesus, and we let go of everything else and just fixate on Jesus, that's where we find eternal life. Eternal life is presented to us in the form of a dead Messiah who doesn't stay dead. And because he doesn't stay dead, neither do we. Our glorification comes through the exact same thing: death. Death to ourselves, death to the world, so that we might rise with Christ. That's part of the reason why all those days. Remember used to get some people all Twitter-pated when I would tell them, if you are so busy that there's only one service you can make Holy Week, I said, come Good Friday. I said, because that's when the victory's won. Good Friday, Good Friday is when the guard hits the three-pointer from the logo to crush the devil. I mean, the Blue Devils. That's exactly what happens. And when you see that, and then we know that the logical conclusion is the resurrection. But there is no resurrection without a dead Jesus. There is no resurrection until we die with Christ and rise with Christ. And even if our brackets are busted, our eternity is sure because of Jesus.